Hi, and welcome back to Higher Comprehension with Chris and Jason. Today we're going to be talking about the mighty Mississippi River. To start us off, we got Chris with us today.
The Mississippi River is 2,340 miles long. It is the third largest watershed in the world.
The first people here, I'm sure, started traveling up and down it and realizing, how far it went. And as you mentioned, it's over 2,000 miles long. So, of course, it became a major trade route, among indigenous peoples, going back thousands of years. And then when Europeans came along and they discovered it, of course, they started traveling up and down it, in boats and paddle boats, and then in steamships, up until, mechanical boats. There's still trade going up and down to this day. But the crime, at least documented crime, goes back, as you said, to Europeans when they got here and arrived and we started exploring this country fully. Then you had the different crimes that popped up, and slavery is probably, one of the biggest things that's associated with it in the beginning of the recorded history of the U.S. anyway. Slavery was a major problem, and even after it was outlawed, the bringing in of new slaves, slavery was still legal, but they were still sneaking slaves in the Mississippi River. There were so many estuaries and inlets, and it's like a maze, and they could just hide in it. It was the same way with river pirates and things like that. It's one of the reasons that the crime on the river is the way it is because there was just so many places for people to hide. Among the many crimes associated with the river, on August 28, 1955, Emmett Till was murdered. He was one of the most notorious murders associated with the river. He was a 14-year-old who allegedly was killed for flirting with a white woman. His body was found in the Tallahatchie River, which is a tributary of the Mississippi. As mentioned before, it had a major role in slave trade and witnessed many acts of violence against slaves, including brutal punishments and lynchings. Emmett Till was just one of many. The lynchings were common along the Mississippi River throughout the South during the slave years up until the present day. Luckily, it's much rarer these days. But the oldest city on the river is Natchez, and I've been there, but I spent more time in Vicksburg as a kid. My mother's younger sister lived in Texas, and we lived in Alabama. Vicksburg was about halfway. And the Vicksburg Bridge that goes over the Mississippi is almost 1,300 feet long. It's not even the longest one by far, but, the Mississippi River is over a mile wide in some places. So it's a very interesting river. It empties out in New Orleans, which is another interesting city that we could do a whole show on. But, I don't know. I think we covered it all.
Please like and subscribe.